Hey everybody, it's Chad, nobody else's auto. Sunday evening, 7 o'clock, time for a little Sunday night live chat. We got a great crowd on YouTube already, right out of the gate. Bill Wagaman's on, Mark Falcon, Randy's here, Jim Petty, Kenny Peterson, Colorado Memorial is back tonight. The Nut Farm, Randall's on with us. Kevin L. Sam's here. Charles is on with us. Hopefully I caught everybody. There's Bill Disk signing on with us. I hope I didn't miss anybody out of that initial batch. You guys are jumping on quick, which is awesome. And it looks like we are connecting on Facebook as well. So Tony's on with us. Scott's here. Thanks for coming back, everybody. Still shocks me that you do, but every week you come right on back. We have a great time. Pete's on with us. And we are boogieing. So, as always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth at monitors, that's what I'm doing. Brian Dispatch, still looking at September. Perfect. Sounds good. I've got that penciled in. And anyway, yep, that's right, Jim, number 174. That's insane. This is episode number 174. I can't hardly believe that. Jeff from Ottawa's on. Doug's on with us. I can't believe that it's still going after all this. You guys keep coming back. You keep making it what it is. So we'll keep working on it for a while, and we'll see what happens. But still shocks me. But you guys come back. We have a great time, and that's all that matters. As always, a little bit of housekeeping before we get too far going here. Johnny Z's on with us. Autocorrect, please double-check your comment before you hit send in case autocorrect changed it to something I can't understand. If I can't understand it, I will skip it, go to the next one. Alex is on with us. Trolls, occasionally we do get a troll on here that just wants to disrupt things because they can't get enough attention at home. I ignore them. You guys do a great job of reporting them and running them off and making sure that they know they are not welcome. As always, I appreciate that. I'm going to ignore them because they're trying to get my attention, and you guys take care of them. Nobody's Show page on Facebook. If you were on the Nobody's Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook, as this is a shared video from that page, or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. Those are the only two sets of comments that I can see. If you just want to hang out and watch and enjoy, you're perfectly fine there. But if you want to watch or want to comment, participate in the auctions, things like that, you'll need to be on one of those other formats. As always, throw a share out there. Tell your friends we're on. Invite them over to jump on and hang out with us. Super chats are always awesome. And we'll go ahead and get rolling into episode number 174, August 6th, 2023. So anyway, make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments here. Got a few guys with us on Facebook. I've not seen any Facebook comments at all. If anybody is throwing anything up, I have not seen any of those as of yet. But anyway, what's been going on? We actually got more storms this week. Fortunately, none of them were quite as severe. But boy, last night almost got a little bit spooky. Yes, Mark, I did get your check, and you are in for the bonus drawings tonight. So we are good there. Actually, we're good for now, Mark, because I threw more matchbooks in the auction boxes. So just so you're aware. Fortunately, didn't get as bad, but boy, last night it got a little spooky. I was over in the other building working, and we got a ton of wind again, and that door was just, the overhead door was just flexing. But fortunately, didn't really have too much damage last night from the storm, but it's just been wet all week. Every time it starts to dry out, we get more rain the next night. I can't get anything done out at the yard. It's just always too wet. So, been dealing with that this week. Before I forget, next week, like I told you, this week was going to be up in the air. Obviously, we are here. Next week, I am probably going to, there's about a 90% chance I should be on the road next week. So next Sunday night, we'll do something. It'll probably be an abbreviated version from wherever I'm at on the road, because I don't even know. It depends on how Saturday and Sunday goes. Depends on where I end up at Sunday night. So not really sure what next Sunday is going to bring, but we will do something. We'll jump on, try to maybe do a handful of auctions, just get caught up on some current events and things like that, but probably won't do a magazine or anything like that. Obviously, you know, when we're in a hotel, it's kind of a crapshoot as to what we've got. So Dennis is here. Greg's on. Okay, I remember you, Greg, with the 62 Tempest Safari. Yep, I remember you, Greg. Glad you're on. Ken Schultz from Michigan's here. Scott's on from South Texas. Tom's on, or Tom Bohr, our graphics guy. He does all the cool stuff like these trophies and stuff. The Race Week trophies, does our coasters. Tom's on with us. Does a lot of great work with TV signs and designs. My coaster's dirty, but we'll show it anyway. Kevin L said they got some of that storm there. Yeah, it was heading your direction, that's for sure. So, Lonnie, 73 F-150 dash cluster. I've got some, but nothing that I know anything about. I have no idea if they're any good or not. So all I could do would be sell them as a core. But so next Sunday night, if it's different than 7 o'clock Central Time, I will get a post out. But I'm going to shoot for 7 o'clock Central Time to do something. I don't know what, but it probably will be abbreviated. So we'll just kind of play that by ear. If something goes completely haywire, I will definitely put up a post that it isn't going to work. But it will probably be YouTube only next Sunday, depending on how things go, unless I just throw Facebook on my phone or something. So. Something happening next weekend that I'm not going to, but I did want to mention it because it's kind of a bittersweet deal. Heartland Park Topeka is holding their last national event next weekend. Tony's on. I have other stuff planned, so I can't make it. I've been to a lot of races there, over the years. Dad and I went to the second national event they had in 1990. But that track is going away. They are building a new one in Kansas City, but Heartland Park Topeka, well, I say it's going away. They may get somebody else in there to take over and manage it and still may do something with it. But kind of weird to say that the last national event at Heartland Park Topeka is happening next weekend. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they have a good time and a good turnout, but I'm not going to be there. I wish I was because my buddy Palmer's going to be there, but like I said, we've got other stuff already booked in for next weekend, so that's not going to happen. However, what's happening the weekend after that, Springfield Swap Meet. I am planning on making that, like we've talked about. My buddy Robert Seaburns, the Hubcap Guru, will be there. And always run into some of you guys there. It's always great to see some of our friends while we're there. If you're planning on going, be sure to hit me up while we're there. And we'll try to do a little bit of content from the Springfield Swap Meet, like we usually do when we're at a swap meet. But maybe we can run into some of you guys there. Maybe some of you guys can help out with some of the content. Maybe we'll throw you in the video or something. But that is just under 2 weeks. Not next weekend, but the following weekend. So Lonnie said their track just reopened for the year. Well, that's good. At least it reopened. That's something. Pete said he is hoping to go. Sounds good. Springfield, Missouri at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. California is where Lonnie's at. So, Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, Springfield, Missouri. It's on the north side of Springfield, literally just off of 44. I mean, literally right off of 44. You get off 44 and go a couple hundred yards and turn into the fairgrounds. So that is coming up. And that's another good point to Alex. The ACD Festival coming up Labor Day weekend. We're gonna talk about that here in just a few minutes. But so Springfield Swap Meet, you guys down in that area, in that neck of the woods, in Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, anything down in that area, that is coming up. Tom, anybody know where the 56 Ford Chevy pickup Resto Mod? So I don't know of anything off the top of my head, but maybe somebody out there does. But speaking of Auburn Court Duesenberg, I hope you guys caught the video that I threw up there Friday in the middle of the day. Mike from New Waverly, Texas. I do buy cars, but if you're in California, Lonnie, the logistics of getting it here would be pretty tough. But I threw a bonus video up Friday around right at noon, actually, I think. Doug Prey called me Friday morning and said, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen this, that the Duesenberg is now alive. Once again, after almost 60 years, the Duesenberg is running. They did fire it up. He sent me the video. We threw it up. I threw it up Friday afternoon. So Kevin said he's seen it. So if you guys missed it, be sure to check it out. But and it wasn't super exciting. But it was just the fact that you got to see it come to life. It hit once, and that didn't go. And then the next time she lit off, and she leveled out and purred like a kitten. So it was pretty cool just to see it actually. Almost 60 years since that car had lit off. I think it was a 32 Model J Murphy body, disappearing top convertible, one of 25 made, Lonnie. We've got a whole series on it. Check out the Auburn Court Duesenberg Company playlist. There are several videos on that Duesenberg and an update video coming up as well. So, but and actually, the update video is going to be a little behind now because we shot it before it was running. So, but we'll go ahead and get that up as well, and be sure to check those out. The links to the other Duesenberg videos are in the video of it running. So, if you missed the first one, missed them the first time around, be sure to check that out as well. But just so awesome. You know, Doug called me and said, hey, I'm going to send you this. Let's get it up. It's alive. It's running. It fired up. So pretty cool. One thing that was kind of interesting that I did learn about these that Doug told me, to adjust the valves, run the valves, and do everything in the head to get the head set up for a Duesenberg is a 40-hour job. So to go through, check all that, set all that, make sure all that stuff was right, was a 40-hour job. So, yeah, you can. I've got one right over here that you can't hardly see, but yeah, Tom, you make some cool stuff we can hang up too for sure. Mark saw the video we put up Friday night on the old KB6s and KB7s. Those are some neat old trucks. 2 more to share with you, and I've actually got 1 more to pick up. I had 5 of those trucks bought. So I'm glad you guys like that. If you missed those, be sure to check those up. Check those out. I threw that video up Friday night, but definitely, Alex says if you've done it a dozen times, it's only a 40-hour job. But that's the thing. I mean, that's the amount of time to go through that car, check all that stuff. I mean, because obviously you don't just throw a battery and then start cranking without checking everything on a car like that. It's just been sitting too long. And something like that, if there's an issue, could be catastrophic. So it's just everything about that car just takes a ton of time. There's just no way around it, but you don't want to screw it up either. You don't run down to O'Reilly's or Napa and pick up parts for it if something goes haywire. Anyway, what else is happening? F&E Collector Auto Auction. I told you guys last week we're getting geared up for that. We should have inventory starting to go up this week on the website, feclassiccarauction.com. Travis is here with us. Mark wants a KB6 emblem for a raffle prize. Tony said his dad had a 7, so those trucks look real familiar to Tony. Michael from New Jersey is on with us on Facebook. So glad Travis and Leo are on with us tonight. But like I said, should have some inventory going up on FE Classic Car Auction, the website, this week. I got confirmation on a big collection I was working that's about 10 or 12 vehicles that we're going to start listing hopefully this week. Really excited about some of that stuff. You guys are going to love some of that. Some cool projects and some nice done stuff in this collection, kind of a mixture. So that's going to be exciting. And this is some really cool project stuff too. Dad's on with us. Numero Uno's here. Glad number 1 made it tonight. So stay tuned. We're going to have that stuff coming up, and keep an eye on feclassiccarauction.com as well as the F&E Collector Auto Auction YouTube channel and Facebook page. I've got 1 video loaded on the YouTube channel. It's not public yet, but it's uploaded. So I'll get a few more of those ready. We're going to start rolling that content out. And be sure to mark your calendar, Saturday, October 7th. If you're anywhere near here, we'd love to have you here. It's a great time. It's a fun day. And we've got a hotel that works with us on rates. So if you guys wanted to come up, spend the weekend, just let me know and I can get you in touch with them. You can get rooms, things like that. Tractor Mike's usually here. That's always a good time. Steel Ponies is here with us. And so be sure to mark October 7th and definitely keep an eye on all that information on YouTube, Facebook, and of course the website at feclassiccarauction.com. And we're going to start loading some cool inventory. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, new inventory. Let's kind of move new inventory here to the front. And I only picked up 1 car this week, but it was kind of interesting. It's not that old, but I'm still considering doing a video on it. just to kind of look at what can really happen. It's a 2004, so it's really not that old. However, there's kind of a little, and I actually took a picture of it. I just didn't realize I took a picture of it right after the storm. I took a picture of this car just as I was driving by, but the car is actually right about here. It was right by this pole. It is almost 20 years old, yeah. But it's just amazing what can happen in some of these weather situations. So this is the picture I took driving by, and that's where the car was at, right here. So I may go ahead and throw that up just because it's kind of interesting. No, it wasn't a Beretta. Perfect, Leo. Appreciate that. No, it wasn't a Neon. But like I said, just amazing what some of these storms can do to things. So I thought about working that in there somewhere. But that's all I picked up this week. Like I said, the weather was so goofy that, it'd dry out and you think, okay, I can go here and get this one, and then I can get them unloaded. And then that night it rains, and then that shoots all that to heck. So, nope, not a Buick Century. But anyway, we ain't giving you guys any of these. Have not seen Big Job tonight. No. Better start throwing some of these up. I bet you guys are getting thirsty. Nope, not a Malibu. No, we have not seen Norma in several weeks. She said, actually, Tony, it was a Pontiac. Tony was right. It was a Pontiac. You guys will definitely get it from now. But Norma did get on Toy Tuesday a couple weeks ago, said her mother passed away. She's had a lot of stuff she's been dealing with. So at least she jumped on for a little bit and let us know what's going on. But I'm sure she'll be back once things kind of calm down in her world. That's a pretty big deal. Yep, it was a Grand Am. It was a Pontiac Grand Am is what it was. So. And another thing, guys, you may have to bear with me a little bit tonight. I got out of here at 1:45 this morning, so you may have a few yawns to deal with as we kind of work through things tonight. But it was a late night. I had a lot of stuff going. I got one of my diesels washed and waxed and cleaned up last night. By the time I got done with that, then got over here and got on all of this stuff. It was 1:45 before I got out of here last night. So we may have a few yawns so please bear with me as we kind of work through some things. So bear with me just a second. The sheriff needs something. Let me send him something real quick. All right. Number one doesn't even want it. Just give me a call, Lonnie. My number is in the description part of all my videos. My phone number is listed in the description part of all my videos, so you can give me a shout and go over what you need. So bang your thumb on the door if you get sleepy. There you go. Let's see. That's true. I can't see you guys yawning. Okay? Well, Gray Kitty's sitting right here, so yeah, you guys can hang out with Gray Kitty for a while. Hey, Dum Dum. Hey, you. Yes, you. Yes, you. You're a goofball. So anyway, let's go ahead and keep rolling. We'll get the promo model. We'll get some badges and emblems, and we're going to get into some story time, and then we're going to get into some auctions. I think you mean Smokey. No, actually, it was the sheriff. So he just needed a number. So Now we don't have any Gray Kitty merch yet. They want pictures of you. You're a dum-dum. Yes, you're a dum-dum. All right. Promo model tonight. Tony's got his popcorn out tonight. That sounds like a great plan. That's true. Good Steel Ponies brings up a good point. Should be up here prancing around, step on the keyboard, and wreck the whole chat. So, no, actually, he needed a number for another guy, so I just sent him the contact. What? Tonight's promo, another Ford product. We seem to have a ton of those, but this is a really good one. I really like the color on this one. It's very unique. It's a nice promo. I actually found this one at the Lawrence Swap Meet. Was kind of excited to get a hold of it. On this 1963 Ford Thunderbird in Sahara Rose. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like on your screen, but it's kind of pinkish, kind of a grayish pink, called Sahara Rose. Probably can't see much of the pink in it. It is a metallic. This promo model is in great shape. It's not all busted up. It's got all the corners still intact. The rear is the same way. The corner of the bumpers are there. The taillight lenses are there. Nice shine on this one. Does have full interior in it, as you guys can hopefully see. Just a really good looking promo. All the original wheels and hubcaps, tires. So yeah, I was really kind of excited about this one. Thought it was a great piece. Good color, nice car. Now, this one does have a lot of the advertising on the bottom of it. So we'll see if we can check out a few of those. Alex is just in love with it. A lot of you guys just like it. Alex loves it. It is definitely a different color. That's right, Brian. It's another good point. It is nice and straight. It doesn't have a lot of warpage. So it's a nice piece. Let's see if we can read some of the stuff on the bottom. Cruise-O-Matic drive, power steering, and self-adjusting power brakes, all standard equipment. Special 3-phase rust prevention treatment. Thunderbird, unique in all the world. 4 new Thunderbirds for $63. 100,000 miles on 3-year major chassis lubrication. Swing-away steering wheel standard. 2 years or 36,000-mile antifreeze protection. Welded integral body and frame for quietness and strength. Something that I hadn't actually noticed on these. We'll have to kind of keep our eyes peeled. But one thing I just noticed, it's because I just got the light right. If you look clear up under here, and you guys may not be able to see it at all, underneath the lip of the bumper, right between these two mounting screws, it actually says 4-barrel 390 V8. I don't know if you guys can even make it out because I could barely see it until I got the light right. Not here on the pan, up underneath the bumper, almost hidden up under there. So that was pretty cool. A lot of information on the bottom of this one, a true promotional piece with all the marketing and advertising campaigns and slogans on the bottom. On this Sahara Rose 1963 Ford Thunderbird. Swing away wheel, the big man's wheel, yeah. Kenny's first complete paint job was a 64 Bird. He remembers it was a big car. Yeah, they are. Yeah, I didn't figure you guys could because I just happened to, just as I hit the right angle, I was like, wait a minute, there's something there. So I didn't figure you guys could see it, but it's under there. It's kind of weird. But a good looking piece. I was excited to find this one at Lawrence. Hudson badge. Now, let's get into some other badges, if I can get Gray Kitty off of them. Yes. You get up here and sit on everything, and you get in the way. Yes. You're disturbing everything. First badge we're going to check out tonight. This badge actually had about a 10 or 11 year run, so it's not an extremely rare one. It could be found. This one's a little bit banged up. But one thing about it, for as many badges as we bought over the years, we've never found a nice one. So, How to know the promos and not models? Various ways. Obviously, this one with all of the information on the bottom definitely makes it a promo. Typically, promos did not have any separate engine components. This is all one cast piece. To where a typical model kit, if it were a built model kit, would have had a separate engine and things like that, as well as typically a separate differential. Things like that is what makes promos stand out. And old age, yeah. So, after you've seen a few, you just kind of get a knack for it. You kind of get used to what you're looking for. And that's a big thing. And then, of course, when it's a Ford and it literally says everything on the bottom of it, it definitely kind of gives it away. Screwed on chassis. Auburn badge. But let's get into nice badges and emblems. Like I said, this first badge, and that's right, Bill. Most of them are a solid one color. You do see some of them that are two-tone, but typically you're right. The interior and the body are all and the chassis are all cast in the same color, and then they may paint the roof or something different if it's a two-tone. But you're right, everything was all molded in one color. So this badge was used for about 10 or 11 years. So you would think it would be a fairly common one to find, but even the ones that we have are not perfect. So maybe not super common. On this badge, which was used, Alan's got one that has a working radio. I've got a few of them that are radios. I do not know if they work though, Alan, but that's another good point. On this badge for the 1917 to 1928 Willys Knight. So, like I said, you would think for this badge being used for that long, promos are typically plastic. They would be fairly easy to find. However, I've got this one. I think we've got one on a complete grill shell, but none of them are perfect. Gary's on with us on Facebook. Actually, I show a handful of people on Facebook, but glad you're here with us, Gary. This is a fairly small one. 1.5 inches in diameter on the little Willys Knight. It was originally red, obviously behind the WK with a black outline surrounding it. This had kind of a pressed-on button and a screw-on stud on it. So, yeah, it would definitely be an interesting piece. It's been laying around for 100 years, So it is kind of cool. Been on the second one. Now, the only other one I've got is on an entire grill shell. So this is the only single one I've got. But it is still a cool piece. The WK with the Willys Knight. I think we sold a hubcap one time. If not, I may have some extra hubcaps. But cool piece for sure. So instead of summer raffle price, nope, I think we're going to keep them. That's a good point, Pete. You got to be careful, Brian. You start asking too many questions, you're going to end up like Pete and buying a ton of promos. The next badge, as always, we're going to bump up to something post-war. We always try to start pre-war, then go post-war. To an emblem that I always thought was super cool. I always really liked these. It was for a car that Dad had one he was always going to restore and then never did, ended up selling it. But I always thought they were a really good-looking car. This is a really unique one-year-only badge, and I always thought they were cool. So when I came up with this set, I went ahead and kept them in my personal collection. What this is the front fender badge for a 1960 Buick Electra. Now, this was a basic Electra. The Electra 225 just said 225 right in this slot. Use the same emblem. These are an aluminum emblem. This is a separate piece on the oval with the Buick logo in it. The Electra is cast into it as well. So I've always been a big fan of these. Now, these were right on the corners of the front fenders on the side. You can see how this kind of stuck out. So these getting whammoed was not uncommon. In fact, this one's got a little bit of damage right up here, if you guys can see that. Yeah, this is a pretty cool piece. And it's basically a 7 by about 3 3/8. So it's about 7 inches long, a little under 3.5 tall on the logo. It was stud mount. You can see where it did have a curvature to it to fit the curve of the fender. So I always just thought that was a cool piece. It was very unique, 1960 only that they used that. And I always thought this, and it was just Electra or Electra 225. So I thought it was a neat piece. I'm glad you guys like it. That's right, the old deuce and a quarter. Except this one went for a deuce and a quarter since it wasn't a 225. But still a good looking piece. Excited about them. I kind of forgotten about them. I actually found, I've got emblems that I've saved over the years. You know, I got that one box in here we pulled stuff out of. But I found about 30 more boxes of emblems, and that's where I found these that I've gathered up over the years that I just threw in the box. I thought they were cool. 30 more boxes, bin boxes, so they're only, you know, like yay big. But like I just found like 30 more boxes of them. So we got all kinds of cool emblems that I thought were worth saving over the years coming up and here in the near future. But I thought this one was a great one for tonight. So that's what we've got, the 1917 through 1928 Willys Knight and the 1960 Buick Electra non-deuce and a quarter front fender badge. And Gray Kitty. Yes, hello, Gray Kitty. Which brings us up to story time to another old. Kevin liked the badges tonight. There's some hearts and some fireworks going on. I appreciate that, guys. That brings us up to story time. We're going to check out, of course, another old Buick. We just seem to have a lot of old Buicks because that's what Dad did. But there was other stuff mixed in. But I found another cool old Buick for tonight. If somebody would get off the pictures. Hey, can I have the pictures? I can. Good. Move. Move. Yes. Hey, Bill Twitchell's back with us on Facebook. Glad Bill's on with us. Good friend Bill. Haven't seen him in a while. Glad you're on with us. Glad you made it tonight. This old Buick, this was a great looking car. It was pretty much complete. And the end story to this car after Dad sold it was kind of the crazy part about it. This was found in a pasture not too far from where Dad stored all of his cars in a little town called Galatia over the years. This car was only 20 or 30 miles from there. And it was pretty complete when he found it. And it was a good looking car. And it was an amazing project. On this 1947 Buick Roadmaster two-door sedanette. Check this beast out. Whole lot of car, great lines. Super cool body style with the big sedanette where it sloped all the way to the rear. Literally sitting right there by the farm implement still. And one more shot of it. That's right. The hood is about half the length of the car. So it was a great project. And I still remember when Dad sold it. And I assume he made it back. But when they came to pick that car up, the guy had a 16-foot single axle trailer and a half-ton two-wheel drive short bed F-150 to haul a complete 47 Roadmaster with. So that was pretty interesting. We had to. I remember that the trailer it was only 16 feet long. It had fixed ramps that stood straight up. Obviously, a 47 Roadmaster is bigger than 16 foot. So we had to cut the brackets off, pull the ramps off, and then when they got that car up on there, like I said, single axle trailer to put a 47 Roadmaster on. So it was just weird. Let's see. You see the lineage from that car to the 68 Skylark. They was just parked out in the pasture. There was a few other cars and farm implements out there like 50 years ago, that's what people did. So, see that coming in your mirror, you just move over. Law Dog needs a Buick, maybe not that old, but yeah, it was a neat old car, but still couldn't believe that they hauled. I don't know where it was going, but I mean, the front tire contact patch on that pickup he was pulling it with had to be touching at least that much of the highway. The front end of that truck was so far up in the air. But like I said, I don't know. It wasn't my deal, but it was just crazy when they pulled out of town with that thing on a single axle trailer. I'm sure it was saying, get this thing off. Because that's a whole lot of car to put on a small trailer behind a small pickup. I don't know what he paid for it. That was a long time ago. I said most of these pictures we're looking at are current, would be 20 years. Some of this stuff is 30 or 40 years. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember where it was going, whether he had to get on interstate or what. But all I know is it turned the corner. I didn't want to see it again. Bud towed a 79 Camaro with a Chevy Love. Couldn't get over 50 or it'd start fishtailing. I bet it would. Holy cow. Yeah, it was a cool car, Trav. There's no doubt about it. Those two-door sedanettes, such a great body style in the late 40s. You don't see a lot of Buicks, but they are great cars, and they are sharp. But with that takes us up to some auction time. But what we haven't done yet is any bonus drawing. Tony said Sturgis is going on. He's up at Sturgis is going on right now. Those were straight 8s, Mark. Buick was all straight 8. Some of the earlier stuff was 4s or 6s, but you got into the 30s up till 52 on big car, 53 on small car. They were all straight 8s. Buick Special in 53 was the last straight 8. Super and Roadmaster went V8 in 53 with the nail head. But anyway, let's do a bonus drawing. Remember, these bonus drawings do not affect you for the main drawing. However, they will not ship individually. They will ship with your next package. Gary's here with us. Let's do a bonus drawing. Maybe. Come on, get a hold of something. Here we go. Who's that? Zach. Zach Thompson. Haven't seen Zach on tonight, but we're going to draw something out for him anyway. This. Let's see what Zach's going to get. Oh, a little dinky dump truck. That's a cute little booger. Little dinky dump truck. So let's tuck that back in there for Zach. Get his name on it. And like I said, these don't affect the drawing for the raffle. So Zach goes right back in. We'll do another bonus drawing a little bit later. Zach is out for tonight on the bonus drawings, but right back in for the monthly raffle. All right, let's get into some auctions. Hudson Badge. Gray Kitty. Can I have the notepad? Hey, you. Yes, you are sitting on my notepad. You're literally sitting on my notepad. Move. Cat, you got to move. Yes, I need the notepad. You are sitting on it. All right. All right. Now that I finally got a hold of the notepad. Cat McMahon, yep. A few things. Highlander, I'm still waiting on an address from you. If I don't get it, I guess I'll just refund your money if you're not on with us, or let me know if you want me to hold it or whatever. I've still got that one hanging. I know some of you other guys have sent money on some of the older ones, so we're getting some of that stuff caught up, so I do appreciate that. Tweet the D's here with us. Mark is ready for the auction, and just like Mark said a little bit ago, full dollar amounts only, please. I still got that one big toy truck. There will be a little bit of shipping with that, but most of the stuff is going to have shipping included. If you haven't been with us before, we'll go through the rules real quick. I'll hold up an item. We'll check it out. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss condition. We'll discuss any flaws. We'll give you some dimensions on it as we're talking about it. We may talk about that vehicle a little bit in history. But as we're doing that, if you're interested in that particular piece, go ahead and throw a bid up there so we can kind of know that there is some interest in that particular piece. For the first few items, I will read all bids as I see them, even if it is not the high bid, just so you guys have an idea of where things are at based on what I'm seeing. Because as we are familiar with, there are delays in the system depending on your device and your provider. Phone, tablet, PC, smart TV, as well as your internet provider. Some people have a 5-second delay. Some people have a 30-second delay. So bear that in mind, but I will read all the bids for the first few pieces as we get going so you guys can have an idea. Once we get done with the description, I will throw it on my timer on my phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute 30 has passed. When I tell you the minute 30 mark has passed, it is time to be thinking about your maximum bid and throwing it up there, because I don't know what your delay is. So that's why I give you a minute 30 to get your final bid in and keep an eye out on that particular piece. So that's how we'll do it. So bear that in mind. Let's see, Gary, question for me. I found out about you, Livecast Yard, on Craigslist, post that Barn Find features. What keeps me going? What's my motivation for this? One man's treasures here. Good question, Gary. Gary on Facebook just posted a question real quick that I guess we'll get into it real quick before the auctions. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it since we're ready to roll here. But Gary said he found out about what we do here on about a Craigslist post on Barn Finds. He is intrigued by my enthusiasm for what's becoming a thing of the past. Not what he wants, but unfortunately it's reality. What is it that keeps me going with that? Well, actually, and there is some to the says spread history about older cars. That's a good point. One thing that that you did say that I don't necessarily agree with, though, that this is becoming a thing of the past. The car hobby is not becoming a thing of the past. There are a lot of younger people who are interested in cars. I talk about this on a lot of the videos. But the reality, and you said, unfortunately, it's a reality that's what's happening. But the reality of it is kids today, a 55 Chevy may not be what they like. There's a lot of people that look at a Camaro and a Mustang and a Cuda and don't see that much difference because they're all a long nose short deck car. We got to remember, we've talked about this in the past, that kid that just graduated high school in May was born in 2005. So to them, something from the 80s is an old car. Something from the 70s is an ancient car. So that's what we've got. And then what they can afford is something from the 90s. And that's where we're seeing a lot of this resurgence in these 90s pickups, the 3rd and 4th gen F bodies, the Fox body Mustangs, even some of the mid to late 90s Mustangs. So I don't think that this is a thing of the past. I think it is moving forward. However, it is moving forward in a different format than a lot of people realize. Weston, this is a 17 and he loves 59 El Caminos. Perfect example. But a lot of kids today look at things differently. That's another good point, Leo. Rangers and S10s are getting popular. So I don't think it's going away. I don't necessarily agree with that. And that's what so what keeps me going is I just like cars. I've been working in the other building, on the getting the diesel cleaned up, or one of the diesels. And I've got 20 some cars over there. I like the memorabilia. I like the signs. I like the oil cans. It's just what I do. So that's kind of where that comes in. And it's a good question, Gary. But that's what keeps me going. And then what this format here has done with YouTube. And I mean, right now there's 56 people here right now. That fluctuates. We were over 60 a little bit ago. It just fluctuates. But that is, look at what the internet has done for us in this, with all the people involved in this chat, sharing their knowledge and growing and building off of that. So all those different pieces of the puzzle kind of keep me going and keep things moving forward. So I don't know about Gray Kitty, if she has anything to do with it or not, but she thinks she does. Yes, you are the Gray Kitty. Yes, you're the Gray Kitty. So good question, Gary, but I hope that cleared things up. If not, we'll get into it a little bit more a little later on. If you got more questions, throw them up there. We sure don't have a problem getting into them. Let's see. We got lots of comments on YouTube. Alex says, I'm a serious collector as well. Yeah, I'm not very smart when it comes to some of that stuff. And that's right. Steel Ponies agrees that they want what they remember growing up. Tweety says, we are here to spread the knowledge of cars, and that's right. Bill Dust says he likes being part of this community. Thanks, Bill. The community is you guys. That's what's awesome. Kevin now has a 98 Silverado, and that's something he digs, and those are getting popular. Bill Dust says, for the love of cars. Leo says, being a nobody makes us a somebody. Okay. So Ken says he's seeing kids with older 4-doors and hot rodding them. And there's a lot of that has to do with affordability. So that's another good point. 4-doors aren't necessarily all bad. Chris from Connecticut's watching with a 16-month-old daughter, and he said she'll love cars. Let's see. How many cars do I have? Altogether, I've got a couple thousand with everything in the yard. Like I said, there's 20 some in the building next door. Most of those are done. There's a few projects over there. So, Tony, if I had money, I'd buy cars like Chad. X-Ray says he loves Sunday and hanging out with nobody. So, I hope that kind of sheds some light on things, Gary. And anytime you guys have questions like that, I have no problem getting into that. So that's why I do it. But I'm not going to count the hobby out as of yet for sure by any means. And you too, Gray Kitty. Yes, you. Now you're sitting back on the pad again. You need to move. You need to move. Yes, you need to move because I'm going to use this notepad to sell everybody all the cool stuff in the auction pile. Or maybe I'll just sell you because you won't move. Let's give everybody a Hudson badge. And then let's finish up the rules and stuff of the auction. Check, money order, PayPal, friends and family, cash, Western Union, whatever. Except cash doesn't always work. Somebody's cash got lost a while back and never got to me. But so if you send cash, make sure you send it with tracking in the mail. I think it's like $8 to send a certified letter or something. So. Non-U.S. buyers, if you want to play, that's fine, but you will have to get me paid, which will be a wire, which usually has like a $35 or $40 fee associated with it, as well as non-U.S. shipping, because this thing kind of feeds itself. And if we have to spend a fortune shipping a couple packages out of the country, that kind of wrecks the whole thing for everybody else. As always, if you've got any questions, throw them up there. Or if you see something, I hold something up and you want to bid on and you're still not really sure how to do it, go ahead and throw a bid up. If you get it bought, call me tomorrow. My number is in the description on both formats, both Facebook and YouTube. Give me a call tomorrow morning. Say, hey, I bought this. What do we do now? We'll figure it out. Whatever payment method works for you, we'll get it handled, and I will get it in a box and get it on the way to you for your collection. So that's right, Tweedledee. I can't believe 90s cars are getting old. Yeah. Pete's here for the horde of F bodies. Randy, hobby is as strong as ever. Just price things as swap me. Yeah. Alan's here with us. So anyway, I think we'll go ahead and get Boogie in. Maybe. Hey, are you going to move? You need to move. You're on the notepad. You were literally sitting right where I need to be working. And you don't care. All right. You're going to care now. Hey. Don't sit in the way. And then we don't have a problem. Yes, look, say hi to everybody while you're up. Say hi to everybody. Put your claws away. Oh, you are mad now. Are you really mad? Oh, I think she's staring everybody down. I think she sees the hearts, actually. I think she sees those hearts and the smiley faces. Boy, you don't look happy. Why don't you park it over here? Yes. All right. Lots more comments coming up. Number one started a rumor chat wants to give away an F body. Probably not, because then I'd have to buy 2 more. Tweedledee still likes 40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah, Kitty was mad. So video bombing. That's right. Upstaged by the cat. That's for sure. All right, Gary. Gary says, absolutely hope the inspiration continues. It's getting more difficult with the fact so many yards of yesteryear are going away or gone. I understand the generation of vehicle progresses with what is considered collectible today versus yesteryear. I guess I heard what I wanted to hear, and that is the fact that there's still interest, and I'm glad someone such as yourself is there to continue with it. Well, thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. The other thing that to bear in mind, like you said, a lot of yards going away. This isn't easy to do. To buy old cars, to keep up with all the regulations. I used to only sell a few complete cars a month. I still have to do sales reports, just like, the new car store that sold 50 last month. I still have to keep up with all that paperwork. We still have to haul the cars. I have to store them. It is a time consuming and it is an expensive process. Equipment upkeep, maintenance. I've got a rack ordered that should be here next week. That is just a processing rack. It is a big, huge steel stand that I can sit a whole car right up on top of it. That way, if I need to pull something out underneath the car, it was sitting there on the loader hanging off the forks, and I was working underneath it, which isn't the best method of doing that if, in case a hydraulic hose or something broke while you were standing under it. So I ordered this rack, and all it is, there's no hydraulics, there's nothing mechanical about it. It is just a big, heavy-duty steel rack that I can sit a vehicle on and work under it and then take it back off with the loader and go sit it back in a row. That rack was $4,500. And actually, they're more than that now. They're over $5,000 now. When I ordered mine a few months ago, they were still at $4,400 or $4,500. So they kept that price. But yeah, $4,500 just for a rack to sit it on. And that's the thing that's frustrating is a lot of people don't understand that the time and the labor and the effort that it takes to do this and put this collection together, sort it, market it, work it. It's a lot of work. And then people say, oh, they want to pay $5 for something. That's all they think it's worth. And that's frustrating. So not very smart, Tony. I think that's it. So, to do this and to do it right. And that's the key, to do it right. Especially in today's world of the internet. Stack some railroad ties. Yeah. I think I'd rather have a one-piece solid steel rack. So, but so there's a lot that goes into this to make it happen and make it work. And, a lot of people, don't understand that and think that it's a simple deal. I mean, I've got a lot of money tied up, a lot of money to make all this work and make it click. And the other thing is in today's internet, and we all see it everywhere. I've got lifts too, Tony, but this is for outside. I've got lifts in this shop and I've got lifts in the shop out at the yard. But this is just a big, if I put another lift in, then I got hydraulics and electrical and all that stuff, and it's going to be outside, and I don't want to deal with that either. So, yeah, they offer $5. Tell me, yeah, sure we do layaway. But in today's world of all the scams, and we've all seen it, everybody on here likes cars, and some cars more than others. Everybody's seen that deal that is too good to be true. Well, the reason is because it is. And that's what a lot of people say, that, this looked like I found it was a lot cheaper than that. Did you buy? Well, no, the guy wouldn't respond. Yeah, because it was a scam. Or, they won't talk to you. They want to do it all on Messenger. Well, when you're doing it all on Messenger or on texts or on email, that's how scammers keep track of their lies, because they can follow the thread. But that's why somebody like me, to do this right, you've got to have a footprint so people know who they're dealing with. Because in today's world of the internet and all the scammers, it's too easy to do. So building that footprint and having a solid base to work from, so people know who you're dealing with, are comfortable sending me money, and make sure they're going to get what they want. That's a big deal. And then once I've got somebody's money, when I've got an order, it is prioritized. It gets done, and it gets boxed, and it gets out of here. So that's, but that's how you got to do it right. So there's a lot of work to do it right and keep it organized. And that's why it's not cheap either. Yeah, it is basically a scrapper's rack. So what's the most unusual item I've ever found in a car? Oh, I don't really know. I don't know if it's I don't know what would be considered the most unusual item I've ever found in a car. What I've had it happen a few times when somebody wanted to sell a vehicle just for scrap, and they were complaining that it wasn't worth anything, and then leave $10 worth of change in the ashtray. I have had that happen before. So, something that's newer that's just not good for anything, you tell them it's only worth a couple $100 for weight, and they say, I don't really want that. And then they kind of finally give in, say, fine, I'll take it. Then you pay them, they sign they give you the title, they leave, and then you go out and look in the car, and they left $10 worth of change in the ashtray. So, which, hey, it's a win for me, but it's, that's what always surprised me. Guns, all I've ever found are BB guns. I've never found any good guns, just BB guns. Never found any bodies, Tom, so that's good. But anyway, we probably ought to get rolling into the auctions. We kind of got sidetracked, and that's fine. I appreciate the comments, Gary. And let's go ahead and get boogieing with the auctions. Where do we even want to start? Gray Kitty, come here. I'll sell you. You're being a pain in the butt. Let's start off, as usual, we'll start off with something smaller, cheaper, kind of get an idea where we're at on some things, on time and stuff. How about some more of these keychains? These little tiny license plate keychains, not high dollar deals. These are 1970, I believe. Yeah, it helps if I look at them right. These are the little DAV keychains with the license plate key change. Are ashtrays even available in new cars? I think you got to order the smoker's package anymore to get it. So notice that these little license plates, not high dollar deals, but they're cute little boogers. 1970. That's right, Kevin L. Good point. Be sure to hit that refresh button before we get rolling here. We've done some of these in the past. I've got a collection of these to sell off, so we'll kind of keep working some of these in. Charlie's on. Glad you're here tonight, Charlie. 1970 Kansas. This is a match set of the keychains. These were the DAV license tags, copies of they did them in all states. Brian Dispatch at 18. Big Job is here. Had a new baby granddaughter. Congratulations. So glad you made it. That's a pretty good reason for being late. So you have to vape through the selector gear now. So anyway, Brian at 18, let's get these rolling. We've talked about these a little bit in the past. These have the DAV information on them. They were I don't know if they gave them away or if you bought them, but they had a return postage on them if you lost your keys. They did them every year to match the license plates of the cars in those particular states. So they're kind of unique little pieces. Like I said, I've got a collection of these that we'll be selling off here over time. I do not have South Dakota. All I've got are Kansas, but I've got a lot of different years of Kansas. So I've got a lot of different colors of them. These are 1970 with this green on these plates. Brian at 18. There might be some 55s in there. I'll have to get the box out there. They do go back into the 50s. 1 minute has passed, so I'll have to see. But they do. There is some stuff back into the 50s in these. Brian wants to go with his 1970 plate from last week. He may have locked this one in. You may have scared everybody else off. And there's the minute 30 mark. I don't know if there's going to be snipers or not. We'll see. Brian threw a fairly solid number out there. These are $15, $20 pieces, so he's right in the game right out of the gate. And we're just about ready to wrap this one up. A few seconds left. We'll see if anybody else is going to jump in. Brian was right there what they're worth to start with, and that's it. Brian does it. At 18. Get those marked down to him. Number one, up here in Canada, you got those tags for your keys or a bike from the War Amp Society. It started out as a charity for amputee veterans and grew even to kids losing limbs on farms. So that's good. So we're able to expand the help a little more even on that. Let's do some matchbooks. Hopefully you guys will start out a little lower. Brian just blew everybody out of the water on this one. We didn't even get to tell everybody where the bids were. Have to keep an eye on stuff. Mark's ready. I actually got like 3 or 4 batches of matchbooks laid out, so we'll get a couple of them into our air tonight, Mark. This one's kind of different, and it's kind of cool. Here's some awesome graphics. Trains. Woo woo! Where's our engineers at? Ship it on the Frisco, the St. Louis San Francisco Railway, serving Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Check out the graphics on this one. Awesome colors. And a map on the back. The next one, the Burlington Zephyr. Denver, Twin, Pioneer, Mark Twain, Ozark State, and Sam Houston on the Denver Zephyr. Charles at 5. And one more. They get even better, believe it or not. 4 scenic routes on the Southern Lines. Look at this beast. Check that thing out. That thing is awesomeness. Big job. Let me clarify. So far, she is due today, and fingers are crossed. As long as she's healthy, she can come out whenever she likes. Absolutely. Come whenever you like, as long as everything's good and healthy. So that's right. Mike's going choo-choo. Alex at 15. Inside the back of the Southern Lines, it does have some detail on that one as well. Mark at 20. But these things are beautiful. I mean, it's just their artwork. I mean, they really are. Let's get this thing on the timer. Here we go. Mark at 20. All right, Charlie, I'll say I thought I wasn't going to make it tonight. Just got done digging out a 67 Rebel. Get it ready to sell. That's cool. You don't see many of those, that's for sure. Mark at 20 as we hit the 1 minute mark. And there's the minute 30. Minute 30's passed. Mark at 20. Mark at 20 as this one winds down. Bill Disc at 24. A few seconds left. Bill Disc at 24. Just about done. Mark at 27. And that does it. Whoo! Mark got it back in there at 159. Holy cow. Mark at 27, just like barely. I thought Bill had him smoked, and he got her back in there at 27. Yeah, that was beyond close. I mean, it wasn't too, you got it in, but it wasn't, I wasn't done reading the comment when it hit 2 minutes. It was that tight. So how about a regular license plates? We've done a few of these in the past. I've got a few more to do, but they're a great piece on the 1961 Kansas Centennial plates. I know some of you guys have seen these. This is just a printed plate. It is not embossed. The buffalo is painted on. These were done in 1961 for the Kansas Centennial. They are great looking plates, kind of an off-white with the bison on it or the buffalo, whatever you prefer. This one's got a few dings and dents, but it does still have nice graphics, good colors. Tony at 10. It is, 12 by 6, your basic 12 by 6 plate. Tony at 10 on the 61 Centennial plate. Let's get this one kicked off and boogieing. Tom, 20. Alex at 16. Holy cow. Leo, 15. Alex, 16. Tom at 20. Tony at 22. Leo at 23. Tom at 25. Just past the 1 minute mark. Coming up on the minute 30. And there it is. There's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Tom at 25. Leo at 28. Just about done. A few seconds left. Leo at 28. And that'll do it. Leo at 28. Came back at 30, just a little bit too late. All right, let's do some Ford badges. Ford badge bundle. We haven't done a badge bundle yet tonight. Let's get in and start with some Fords. All right. Ford badge bundle. Let's have a Hudson badge to think about it, though. Starting off with a clear insert. I think this was like out of a steering wheel center or something. Ford. The Ford is actually cast into the plastic and then was painted silver or chrome. I buried my tape measure. And it is about 6.5 long. The next one, a Fairlane, off of a mid to late 50s era Ford as well. This is a pot metal chrome plated flat mounted script with studs. And it is about 7 inches long. And to round it out, you're also going to get a V8. Once again, mid 50s Ford pot metal, chrome plated, flat mounted on the V8. 51 horn. That's what I was thinking, Ozark Fox. It does go in the 51 horn bar. Leo at 5. Let's get this thing on the timer and get rolling. Leo starting us off at 5. You're getting all 3 Ford pieces on the Ford badge bundle all together. Mark at 10. X-Ray at 13. Island at 12. I've already got X-Ray at 13. And there's the 1 minute mark. We have passed the 1 minute mark on the Ford badge bundle. X-Ray at 13. And there's the 1 minute, 30-second mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds passed. I think it's a 51 horn bar. What I think it is. X-Ray at 13 on all 3 pieces. And we're coming out of the wire. We got a little bit left. Alan at 14. Mark at 15. And that does it. Mark at 15. Mark does last Johnny Z at 15. You guys better watch out for Mark tonight. That's 2 of them. He's got it about 158. So you guys better watch out. If Mark's hitting something tonight, he's got it. He's got his timing down pat. Of course, the next one he could be 2 seconds too late, but those last 2 was at 158 and change. So. All right, let's go back to just another regular license plate in black and gold. The 1968 Kansas plate. This was FI for Finney County. This is just your basic standard license plate, black background, gold letters, all metal, stamped, embossed. So just kind of a nice, good display piece in the black and gold. Maybe you're a Steelers fan. If you're a Steelers fan, I guess it's perfect. FI was Finney County, 4310, 4-digit plate. Leo at 10, basic size, 12 by 6. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Alex at 25. Randall's fingers ain't working. Alex at 25, and there's the 1 minute mark. We have hit 1 minute. Finney County's in western Kansas. Alex at 25. And there's the minute 30 mark. Maybe Alex took care of everybody. We'll see. Tony at 26. We got a few seconds left, but not much. Kenny at 26. I've got Tony first at 26. Few seconds left. Is anybody else going to slide in here at the end? Alex at 30. And that does it. Alex at 30. Kenny was at 27. Alex at 30 is who we had at the 2 minute mark. All right, this next one, this thing is so cool. It's a badge. It's not an enamel badge, but it's such a great badge. I'm going to do it by itself. I debated about whether I should keep this thing, but it is so awesome. I think you guys are going to dig it. I just hope it don't bring $5 because then I'll be disappointed. It's so cool that I should have kept it. But it is super cool. It is super neat. Tony's just going to bid 10 anyway. Although it's not Pontiac, but it is Oldsmobile. And this thing is so awesome. Check this out. I think this is like 58 Olds. This thing is gorgeous. It's flat. It is pop metal, chrome plated, stud mounted. 6 1/8 from the tip to the tip. 15, 17, 20, mark at 20. So almost 7 or 6, just a little over 6 by an inch and a half. Inch and a half. Tweedledee at 25 by a little over 6. So Tweedledee at 25. Let's get this thing on the timer. It is super cool. I love it. I think it's a great piece. It's going to be a great addition to somebody else's collection. It does mount nice and flat. It's got beautiful chrome. Great piece. It's not new old stock because it's had some paint fading. This area in here should be red. You can see a little bit of red right around here around the edges. But it is a great piece. In fact, it's been laying in the box for about 3 weeks. I've been debating about what to do with it. Finally, I just threw it up here and said it needs to go. I think it's a 58 is what I think it is, Kenny. But don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. But I've got Tweedledee at 25. And there's the 1 minute mark. Mark needs a hubcap. Well, I've got some laying here, so how about that? Just a couple pieces down. All right, here's a hubcap. Yep, we've got some of them. So Tweedledee, 25, almost to that minute 30 mark. And there's the minute 30. Big Job's waiting for the sniper fire. Well, we'll see. Because we're ticking down on this thing. Tweedledee at 25. We got a few seconds left, but we're getting down to the wire. We're past that minute 30 mark, getting ready to wrap this one up. Tweedledee at 25. Mark at 26. Pete at 28. Tony at 28. I had Pete first. Kenny at 31. And that does it. Kenny at 31. That one did get pretty interesting. Kenny covered it at 31. Wow, that was fun. And it's a great piece, so there's no doubt about it. Just beautiful. How about some cans? We haven't done any cans yet tonight. How about a can twofer? How about a Hudson badge? Yes, we're going to do a pair of Phillips cans. These are cardboard, but they look great. They are cardboard, but there is no barcode on them. So 70s era, probably. The first one, probably a fairly common one, the Phillips 66 ATF. White can, silver V with the Phillips logo on it. Like I said, no barcodes. I'm guessing 70s on these. Punched at the bottom. That's right. Tom just needs to come by and go through stuff before we auction it. Top still looks good. Great display piece on the Phillips can. Now, the next one is also a Phillips, but it's a very unique color. It does have a little bit of fading as part of it, but I don't know much about this, and you don't see this color that very often on this Super HD2 motor oil. Once again, a cardboard composite can, no barcode, so probably 70s. It was more of a brown. It's got a little bit of fading to the front, but a very unique color on this one. This one was also drained from the bottom. Top still intact and looks great. Travis at 15. So you're going to get the pair shipped to you on these Phillips cans. Like I said, it's crazy to think about. They're probably almost 50 years old because they're 70s era, which with no barcode, I think they are. Travis started us off at 15. Dennis at 25. And we are live on the timer. Good looking cans. Travis at 26. Tweedledee at 26. Dennis at 32. John, you just have to give me a call and I can get you on my list and see if I've got it on any of my 63s. Give me a shout tomorrow. I'll get you on my notepad and then I can check and see what I've got. If I've even got a possibility. If it's something I know I don't have, but I do have several 63s. It just depends on what you need. And there's the 1 minute mark. Travis at 33 at the 1 minute mark. Four door. I've got sedans and hardtops in 63 four doors. So Travis at 33, getting the pair. Good looking cans. And there's the minute 30 mark. Dennis at 35. A few seconds left. We're coming down to the wire. I've got Dennis at 35 on the pair. Travis at 36. And that does it. Travis at 36. Where are you going to get an ATF can? Yeah. All right. We haven't done a grease cap yet tonight. This one's kind of different. We haven't done one of these. It's kind of rough. It's kind of banged up. But you can still make out the symbol on it, which is cool. Remember, these grease caps are aluminum. this is probably early 30s because this is a bigger one for a Buick. Check this beast out. And you guys on Facebook, I'm not seeing any comments over there for a while, which is fine. If you're just hanging out, that's great. But if you're somebody's bidding, I'm not seeing anything. This Buick cap is about 4.5, a little over 4.5 in diameter. So this is a little bit bigger than those 2 or 3 inch ones we're typically used to. The Buick is cast in, but it is kind of banged up. You can see on the back where it actually was cast into it. Was threaded on the inside, so it screwed right onto the hub. Like I said, I'm guessing early 30s. Perfect, Scott. Thanks. I appreciate that. But you guys are still there, and that way I know. Just want to make sure we don't have a system issue because these things are prone to happen. And this is a shallower one. It is only about 1 3/8 inches deep, but like I said, it is 4 3/4 across. So all right, any takers on the Buick cap? Let's get this one rolling. No bids as of yet. Maybe that means I can keep it because I don't know that I've got this one, but I haven't dug through some other boxes. There was only one of these in this one box. So on the Buick cap. Maybe. If nobody wants the Buick cap, we'll throw her back in the box. Nothing on the Buick cap. That kind of surprises me. That or something's hung up here. Because that has happened. We've got nothing going on. I mean, no comments, no nothing, which is really weird. I'm not getting any comments at all. I mean, it's just like comments have shut off on YouTube. All right, let's hold this up here. Something is weird because there's nothing. I assume somebody's made a comment in the last minute or two, and I've got nothing has changed on my screen at all. So something's not right. Because I'm sure you guys have said something in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And the last thing I see where Kevin L says, "Congrats, Travis." So obviously something is goofed up here on the feed. All right, I'm going to try to refresh on my end and see what happens. Hopefully we don't crash everything. Bill's is still on Facebook, so Facebook is still clicking, but I've got nothing happening on YouTube at all. Okay, yep. Alex just texted me. We are stuck. That's what I figured. All right. Let me try to refresh and see if